My name is Laura Burkey, and I am a thought, behavior, and communication coach, and I help people who love words. I also help people who are intentionally and consciously creating a life they love by bringing their desires and their self-talk into genuine alignment. Words That Work isn't about being a good communicator, it's about coherent communication. Literally embodying the resonant power that exists in your words. When this happens, you spend a whole lot less time looping in anxious overwhelm and frustration, and way more time in the flow of purpose, appreciation, and peace. Let me ask you something. How many times have you heard, know your worth? Or maybe you've said, I just don't feel like I'm worth that. And notice what happens in your body when you hear that word, worth. For most people, it does not feel steady. It does not feel grounding. It turns into a question of, am I okay? A comparison, a quiet pressure to measure up to something out there. And you know what sucks about that? That is not what this word was designed to do. But yet we go on using the word worth as an emotional and personal value statement or judgment about ourselves. We ask, am I enough? Am I as good as them? Do they see my value? That use of the word will keep you spinning and ultimately shrinking, because now your worth lives out there in other people, in outcomes, in approval seeking. But if we go back to the origin of the word, something completely different shows up. The word worth traces back to an ancient root, often written as wert, W-E-R-T. And it meant something very simple: to turn, to rotate, to become, but not in vague or abstract ways. Literal. To turn into or shape something into a structure that could handle a specific job or outcome, and something that works reliably. It holds steady, consistent. It can carry the load of what is needed in the moment or the job. That is what this word was pointing to. Not how you feel about yourself and not whether someone approves of you, but whether something works. Wort, works, worth, works. Can it hold? Can it carry? Can you hold? Can you carry? So originally, worth was not emotional, it was structural. Think about something simple, like a wooden wheel. When it is first made, it is rough. It's not a perfect circle, so it may wobble, which also means then it doesn't have integrity in its structure and it won't be able to carry much. But over time, it is shaped, it's smoothed, and then it is fitted. And eventually, it turns cleanly. It becomes structure that can carry a full load, and it won't break under pressure. That is when it has worth. Its structure is so that it can do a job reliably and not break under pressure. Not because someone said it was good, but because it works. Now let's bring that into today and to you. So, for example, a project manager, they prove their worth by keeping everything moving when things get complex. They stay steady, they stay focused, and deadlines are met. A contractor who comes in and fixes the pipes or does whatever, he proves his worth or her worth when After they leave, and months, years later, their fix still holds. No cracks, no failures. A coaching method, it would prove its worth when people who are using it, the coach who's using it or the client who had it used with them, who uses a certain method and consistently in the use of it, it produces the same result for them. So you notice the pattern? Worth is not a feeling. Worth is not a judgment. It isn't an opinion. And it's not outside. Worth is in the functioning of whatever was moved, exercised, or done. It's the ability that holds something under real conditions. Let's look at the worth of a good parent. It's not, are they a nice parent? Are they a crabby parent? It is their parenting consistent to holding a child or a family in a place that feels secure, that feels steady, and that whatever is needed to provide security, steadiness, love, and all of the things, do they show up on the scene, and are they reliable in functioning that way? So here's a shift for you. Instead of treating worth like a judgment on your identity, or anybody else's identity for that matter, treat it like a standard for alignment and ability, or a standard for solid structure or containment. Ask yourself, where does my presence actually make things better, clearer, or more stable? But even at work, does your presence as a parent make things better or clearer or more stable or more consistent at certain times of the day with certain activities? That's worth. Ask yourself, what am I able to produce reliably and consistently? What do I just know I'm able to produce consistently this, or reliably that? It could be something simply as I know how to lighten the mood when things get stressful. That's your worth, or you're worthy of that. Now, stay here for a second, because these questions, the aim is that they would ground you immediately to know thyself, to know your worth. That should be exciting to you, because the natural inherent desire in all human beings is to grow, is to develop. And so if you want to know yourself as worthy, pick anything, something you're already good at, and really solidify and confirm that's where I am worth something. That's where my worthiness lies. And you can also pick something that you want to get better at and say, I want to become more worthy with that skill, strength, outcome, performance, so to speak. You're not any longer asking, am I enough? What you're doing is you're looking for evidence when you think of the word worth. Instead of trying to feel more worthy, start noticing where you already hold weight well. Where do people rely on you? Where do things move forward because you were involved? Where do you bring clarity instead of confusion? It could be in any part of your life. This is your worth, and it's already in motion. And when you give more attention to those areas, you will now naturally build more capacity in areas that you want to, because simply borrow from the success where you're doing it elsewhere. It's not hype, and this is not about affirmations, even though those are good if you know how to use them correctly. It's not hype, it's not affirmation, it's about alignment, it's about structure, and it's about reliability. So, the next time the word worth shows up, just pause. Don't fall back into an old program, and ask yourself, am I worth this? Because worth was never meant to be a verdict on you. Worth is something that is about reliable structure that is the right container or the right structure for the job at hand. And are you worth that, or are you not? I'm Laura Berkey. Thank you for listening. If something in you recognized this, don't just think about it. Come experience it. I host a live word shop every first Wednesday of every month at 12 noon Central. This is where you begin to feel the difference in your own words in real time. The link is below. Join me and see what shifts for you. Go to lauraburkeycoaching.com to learn more and to register for your next word shop. So believe me when I say that your words are paving the way. The words you use are what is manifesting right before your eyes. Stop looping anxious, unproductive thoughts. Stop reinforcing the experience of I'm stuck, I'm behind, I don't know what to do, I don't feel motivated. Those patterns are being created by the words you use. I'm Laura Berkey. If this speaks to you, join me every first Wednesday of every month at 12 noon Central and experience what I mean when I say words that work. You can also connect with me on Facebook at Laura Berkey Coaching, my website, lauraburkeycoaching.com. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. Let me help you put your words to work for you.